Hello, welcome to Lisle Township Democratic Organization, LTDO for short, TV. My name is Diane Hewitt and I'm the Vice Chair of LTDO and leader of the documentation team. This is a first short introductory episode on canvassing. Why am I talking about canvassing now? It's the most efficient and most resource effective way to win votes. On average, 1 in 14 doors you knock will win a vote. The metric generally used is how many votes you win for each dollar spent. Broken down into cost, researchers found it costs $31 to produce a vote going door to door. Direct mailers range from $91 to $137. Leafleting costs $47. Commercial phone banking, $58 to $125. And volunteer phone banking, $20 to $35 per vote. Door-to-door canvassing ranks on top then. What is the purpose of canvassing then? In general, the goal is to connect with voters in the most effective way known one-on-one. Your specific goal usually changes based on the targeting and intentions of the organizer. Generally, the goal is to inform the voters of a candidate or issue that needs their attention. So to begin with, let's start by getting dressed to go canvass. Step 1, dress for the climate and the neighborhood. Have comfortable, well-fitted socks and supportive athletic shoes for walking. If you keep your feet dry, it will help to avoid blisters. No high heels or flip-flops for your own safety, as traversing multiple terrains is the norm. If it is potentially rainy out, bring an umbrella, raincoat, and water-resistant shoes. If it is cold, a jacket or sweater with layers, long underwear, and comfortable pants. Bring something to cover your ears, a hat, scarf, or earmuffs. Bring gloves with fingertips missing. If it is warm out, put on sunscreen, wear a sun hat, wear shorts, and an LTDO or Democratic t-shirt or polo. If you're going to a really nice neighborhood, be sure to look extra nice. Put on a name tag if you wish, and have one. Now that you're dressed, let's pack up your bag and get ready to go. Step 2, pack what you need to go out and do your job. This is what I bring with me. This changes based on where I'm going, for how long, and for what purpose. Make your own decisions for you, but these are a few ideas for you to think about. A messenger bag to put literature and supplies in, a fully charged cell phone, ideally a smartphone, either a minivan list number or a printed canvassing list and map, a clipboard to write on and store a lid in. If it is hot out, a cold water bottle, or if it is cold out, a hot drink, a granola bar or snack for a quick sugar boost, 5 motor voter registration forms so I can assist the voters in registering themselves. Depending on the time of the year, mail-in ballot applications available here until 2019. Written early voting information to better encourage that form of voting. Candidate literature, specific for candidates running now. I usually bring about 5 to 10 different candidate literature at one time. I never drop off or talk about 1 or 2 at a time. If multiple candidates, then many people use plastic door hanger bags to put their lid into. It helps to prepare them the night before, or you may be fumbling with lid at the doors. I like bags personally. LTDO campaign literature or PC literature. LTDO documentation will often have a variety of literature created for you to canvass and campaign with based on who you could be targeting for that election. Group volunteer recruitment literature, like the new member brochure for LTDO or election judge information brochure. Flyers for upcoming events you want people to know about. 2 to 4 extra pens to allow people to fill in the forms you give them or to write things down. Business cards if you have them. Name tag for yourself identifying you if you prefer. Buttons or stickers to give away or to wear. Bumper stickers, people like them. Candidate yard signs in my trunk to give away at the end. Cough drops or gum or breath mints. A post-it notepad for leaving notes for people not at home. Sunscreen if needed or any gear for the weather. chapstick, Ziploc bags to put literature in, tissue paper, keys, and pepper spray I carry with me at all times everywhere. Now you are dressed, have your supplies organized, and now you need to decide where you will be going. So step 3 is decide between using a digital device or a paper list to tell you which doors to knock. For the digital version, before you go out, download the free Minivan Touch application from your store on your charged smartphone, or iPad, or Chromebook. It has a blue background with a circle and darker blue circles in a circle. Have a 13-digit list number from a campaign or LTDO so you know whose doors to knock on. There is a minivan manual attached at the end of this document. If you need help with learning it, there's a variety of weekly help sessions. Susie Q will help you. Enter in data after you talk to the person and walk away. Do not walk and enter in data. It is easy to hurt yourself this way by not seeing a step or not being aware of your environment. I only enter in their emails or contact information while I am standing in front of them. As a good practice, sync your data at the end of each block, or if the battery on your phone gets low, or at the end of your shift. The organizer, and at the end of your shift. The organizer who gave you the list will know the details of the work you did only after the sync button is pressed at the top right. Your data from your cell phone plan is only being used to get a list and sync. So you don't need a data or voice plan, and you can use your old dead phone to do this as long as it carries a charge and gets a Wi-Fi signal. Get in the habit of syncing ASAP before it turns off due to power. If you decide to use paper and pencil, which is a great choice, and you don't have to use a digital device, then you will just need to print the list out first or get it from an organizer. Be sure you have a paper map. I still suggest on bringing a cell phone just in case you need it to use for other communication needs. Have a printed script of what you will say and ask. Please write legibly or the data cannot be used. The paper list must get back to the organizers of the canvas to know what happened. So afterwards, get the list back. If you put them in your drawer or back in your bag, no one will know what good work you did. Now that you are dressed, packed up, and know where to go, how do you canvas? So step 4, as Nike's logo says, is just do it. Basic pro tips, and these are not meant to be policies to memorize, just general best practice to think about incorporating. First, wear the right gear for the weather. Dress for success. Look the part. Don't start canvassing before 10 a.m. Stop canvassing before dark or by 8 p.m. It is normal to be nervous or apprehensive when starting out. Take 30 seconds to look at yourself in the mirror. Brush your teeth and don't go out directly after lawn work still wearing the lawn. Ask yourself, would you want to talk to you? Start out with going with a buddy or somebody that has canvassed before, or Peggy, or Sue, or somebody from the LTDO's leadership team. If you do not know anyone, we will find you someone to walk with to begin. Listen to their methods and experiences. Do this until you feel comfortable going by yourself. Eye contact is important. Don't wear dark sunglasses. Being able to see the other person's eyes conveys trust, integrity, and confidence. Take a few minutes to organize your route mentally first. Then organize your materials. Sometimes that means getting your materials a few days in advance. Know something about the districts you will be going into. If you're walking into a hotbed of U.S. congressional activity or a hot local mayor race, then it is good to know that before you put your foot in your mouth. Be aware that a lot of premises have audio and visual recording in their doorbells or on their property in general. Stop talking before you are on the property and watch your language just to be on the safe side. Do not remove other candidates' literature, no matter how tempting it is. Be respectful of their property and look at what your surroundings offer. Look for topics of conversation like animals, signs of schools, or unions or candidate preferences. Often helps. You're not soliciting, which is selling anything for money. So the no soliciting signs do not apply to you. I do not knock the doors that say no political soliciting, as that does apply to you. Show people respect and humility. Do not write or enter in data while walking. You will not be able to see a step or change in terrain and could hurt yourself. Do not walk across lawns. Use sidewalks preferably. Do not let dogs or cats out of gated enclosures. They are on one side for a reason. Not every dog will automatically understand your good intentions. Look at their body language to gauge how you should proceed. Do not litter ever. Put the litter in a bag on the door or in the door, or fold it in up with some tension around the handle. Do not touch the mailbox. It is against the law to put our literature in there. Always leave a piece of material that can let them know you were there and what you were up to. Step off the porch after ringing the doorbell or knocking. Do not crowd the owner of their home. Always be polite and smile. If you ask for a specific person, then they will often want to know how you got their name. It is public information from the DuPage Election Commission. Do not go inside of people's houses. Use your best judgment. Actively listen. Listening is more important than speaking. Listen to their issues and concerns. Then tailor your conversation to their needs and issues. You want to give them the time they need, and the time to talk to you should be listening. Engage in open-ended conversations. Sometimes they happen, and take the time to let them happen. The conversation should ideally be 2 to 5 minutes. Tell them you can't stay but for a few minutes so they don't feel potentially trapped in a forever long conversation. Steward your time and walk efficiently. Limit the bathroom breaks if possible. Humor is your friend. Don't take yourself too seriously. Humor is a great connection to others. Write a great script and then practice it. You will adapt it for you, and that is great. Say what feels comfortable for you. Keep it short and simple. People are busy. Short and simple is easy to remember and gets to more people. Getting your 4 W's in right away. Who are you? Where are you from? What are you doing on my porch? And when will you leave? Know what and who you are selling. Maybe that's the party slate or a candidate, but in the end, you are always selling yourself. Be yourself. Make it personal about who and why you are there. Always offer something of value. Information has value. Be specific and be honest. Some people will let you know exactly where they stand. Others will hide where they stand. As soon as you get a clue about where they lean, ask them. It can cut your time at the door by a lot by opening up that conversation. Keep a win-win mindset. You are there to help them, and they can help you with your goals. Keep finding potential volunteers and members of LTDO as a goal in the back of your mind. When you find a strong Democrat, invite them to a meeting and get their email to add to our local e-blast. Their emails will not be given to other groups or candidates. Ask for their cell phone number if they want text messages instead. For get out the vote time, you can send mass text or emails to be sure they know about the details in a short amount of time. It helps to remind people about the election at a critical time. Let them know they are not alone. There are local Democrats here who agree with them. Make sure everyone in the Democratic houses are registered to vote. Do your homework. Be prepared for questions or know where to go for answers. Admit you're a volunteer. It gives you credibility and caring. You are not required to be an expert. You do not have to know everything. Your effort matters to them. If you don't know something, admit it, and then attempt to figure it out. Ask someone who may know. The more you know, the more you realize what you don't know. The last thing you want to do is lose your credibility with the voter. Use political terminology and words that are easy to understand. Do not argue with the person at the door. You will not win. When the voter asserts something that is wrong and you disagree, let them have their say. Counter it by respectfully telling them the way that you see things. This is important that you're countering their argument without attacking them. If you tell them you are wrong and mistaken, you are setting yourself up for an argument and they will dig in their heels. Don't cut people off. Figure out a way to agree about something and pivot the conversation. Know what you are selling will affect people you are talking to, so they have a reason to care about it. They can be moved to do something if they see how it will affect them. A good story, well-paced, will draw people in. Dragging it out will lose their attention and maybe their vote. Leave a post-it note. It can be effective. Always listen to your gut. Do not put yourself in danger ever. If you are not comfortable walking up to a particular house or person, skip it. Safety first, and you probably are not moving soon. Sometimes it is best not to have a political conversation with a neighbor you already have a tense relationship with. If you run into people out of their homes, always talk to them. You may have knocked their door or would soon, but they aren't at home. They're right in front of you. Start relationships. Use a few methods to work most efficiently. For example, use good data to canvas. A canvas will reinforce social media messages, events, positions, and can be used with phone banking, text, postcards to reinforce the message and goal. Then get the data from canvassing back so they can use it to target more effectively. Always thank the voter for their time. For apartments or condominiums with locked entrances, I suggest going at a busy time and trying to get in with the crowd. Next, try to not get kicked out, which is not always easy. Often leafleting is your best bet. You're allowed to be there, but often you will be asked to leave. Just leave. Make specific goals for yourself and write them down somewhere. I will knock X amount of doors for 3 hours this week. You'll be more likely to do it by doing those two things of making a goal and writing it down. Have fun. You're doing the most important and effective work for any campaign. Thank you and have fun making a difference. This is the work that changes minds. You're directly helping to win hearts and minds. Okay, now that we're ready to go and know what to do in general, what's holding you back? Sometimes it's that natural fear of rejection. So here's a few tips to get over that. In the end, this is a numbers game. Every door will not open, but about 30% will. We must get the numbers door knocked in order to get the numbers we want on election day. The next door you knock or shift you do could change your life or win or lose the race. Make it there and knock that door to give your team and candidates the best chance of winning on election day. It isn't you if they don't automatically listen to your wisdom and great works. You are a civics superhero. It gets easier the more you do it. The hardest door to knock is that first door. Practice. This is how we win. Thank you for listening to us at LTDO TV, and join us shortly in our next episode covering canvassing Democrats.